something very shocking just happened. Omoyele, the founder of Sahara Reporters and a former presidential candidate, has dropped a heavy petition in America. Not in Nigeria. Not in Abuja. But right in the state of Florida, United States of America. In this petition, Omoyele is accusing Nigeria's current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, of something very serious, acquiring properties in Florida under questionable means. According to the document, these properties are not just small houses. They are expensive, high-value real estate running into millions of dollars. And Omoyele is not keeping quiet about it. He has written directly to the Attorney General of Florida, asking that the government of Florida steps in. He wants these properties to be investigated. He is asking that they should not only be investigated but also be forfeited to the state of Florida. He is asking for those involved to be prosecuted. And even more, he is requesting that a visa ban be placed on Wike. Now think about it. A Nigerian opposition leader writing directly to American authorities to seize properties belonging to a sitting Nigerian minister. That is not a small move. This is bold. And it shows the level of confidence Omoyele has that something is not right about these Florida acquisitions. In the petition, his lawyers described Wike as a career politician who has been in government since the 1990s, moving from one political office to another. But the big question being raised is this: how does a politician, whose only known source of income is politics, suddenly have the capacity to acquire prime lands, luxury properties, and expensive real estates abroad? The document even points out that investigators have valued some of these questionable acquisitions at billions of dollars. We are not talking about small change here. Billions. Properties linked not only to Wike himself but also allegedly tied to his children and associates. Omoyele is painting a picture of how Florida is now being used as a safe haven for laundering stolen funds from Nigeria. He is pushing for America to step in because, according to him, this is not just a Nigerian problem anymore. It is an international matter. And once American law steps in, the game changes completely. This petition is already sending shockwaves through political circles. Because for the first time, a Nigerian minister is not only facing pressure at home but is also facing international legal heat. And Omoyele, with his background as an activist and journalist, knows exactly how to attract attention from global institutions. Now, let's be real here. This is not the first time Nigerians are hearing stories about politicians owning foreign properties. But what makes this different is that it has now been taken outside the control of Nigeria's compromised system. This is America. Once they start investigating, they go deep. And Omoyele has made sure this petition is official, legal, and documented. And here is where it gets even more interesting. He is not just exposing Wike. He is also indirectly confirming what Peter Obi has always said. Peter Obi once argued that no Nigerian politician should be living in unexplained luxury without a clear source of income. He said you cannot buy mansions abroad, fly private jets, and spend like kings if your only job has been politics. Unless, of course, corruption is involved. With this petition, it is beginning to look like Peter Obi was right all along. The expensive lifestyles of politicians like Wike are now being dragged under international light. This is Obi being vindicated, not in Nigeria, but in America. And if Florida authorities actually act on this petition, it will set a new record. It will mean that politicians can no longer hide stolen wealth in foreign countries without consequences. The question is, will America act? Will Wike face a visa ban? Will the properties be seized? These are the questions Nigerians are waiting to see answered. But one thing is certain. This is not going away soon. Omoyele has thrown the first punch. And now, all eyes are on Florida and Abuja to see what happens next. Timing is everything in politics. And Omoyele's decision to strike against Wike at this exact moment is no coincidence. This move is carefully calculated, and it comes at a period when Nigeria is facing deep political uncertainty, economic struggles, and rising anger from ordinary citizens about corruption and waste in government. For years, Omoyele has been one of the loudest voices calling out corruption. From his Sahara Reporters days, he built a reputation for digging into files, exposing hidden secrets, and publishing stories that many other journalists were too afraid to touch. This is not his first battle. He has taken on presidents, governors, and business tycoons before. But what makes this particular petition different is that he is now taking the fight beyond Nigeria's borders. He is moving the battlefield from Abuja to America. Why Wike, and why now? Let's look at the situation. Nyesom Wike is not just another politician. He is one of the most powerful figures in Nigeria today. He was the governor of Rivers State for 8 years, and after that, he became the minister of the Federal Capital Territory, the heart of Nigeria's government. He controls land, money, contracts, and influence in Abuja. And Omoyele knows that going after Wike means sending a strong signal. If a sitting minister can be called out internationally, then no politician is too big to touch. Omoyele is not waiting for Nigeria's anti-corruption agencies. Because, let's be honest, most Nigerians do not trust those agencies anymore. They have become tools in the hands of politicians themselves. Cases drag for years. Files disappear. Accused politicians walk free and even get promoted. Omoyele knows this. That is why he decided to bypass the Nigerian system completely and go straight to Florida, where the properties are located. This is smart strategy. Once you involve US authorities, the rules change. American investigators do not play by the same Nigerian script. If the properties are truly linked to corruption, America will act. They will seize. They will investigate. They will prosecute. And that is exactly why Omoyele struck now. He wants the fight to leave Nigerian courts, where politicians can buy their way out, and enter US courts, where money and influence mean nothing if the evidence is strong. Another reason Omoyele acted now is political timing. Nigeria is slowly building towards the 2027 elections. Politicians are already calculating their moves, forming alliances, and preparing strategies. Wike is one of those politicians with ambition. He wants to remain relevant, powerful, and feared. By dropping this petition at this stage, Omoyele is putting a stain on Wike's record. He is making sure that if Wike wants to push for higher office, these allegations will follow him everywhere. It is also about public mood. Right now, Nigerians are frustrated. Prices are high, salaries are low, the naira is weak, and the people are angry. Many citizens believe that the suffering is a direct result of corruption and mismanagement. So when Omoyele drops a petition like this, it immediately connects with ordinary Nigerians. It says to them, here is proof that while you are suffering, politicians are using your money to buy mansions abroad. This is why the story has picked up so much attention so quickly. Omoyele knows how to strike when the people's anger is already burning. But there is one more layer. This move is also meant to scare other politicians. Wike may be the main target today, but tomorrow it could be someone else. Omoyele is sending a warning: if you are hiding wealth abroad, if you are laundering money through foreign properties, if you are living a lifestyle your salary cannot explain, then you should be afraid. Because petitions like this can be filed anywhere, in Florida, in London, in Dubai. The world is no longer a safe place for corrupt leaders to hide their loot. And why Florida? Because that is where the properties are. Florida is famous for luxury estates, beachfront mansions, and expensive real estate deals. For many corrupt officials around the world, it has become a safe hiding ground. But it is also a state with very tough laws against money laundering. Omoyele knows that if you expose shady properties in Florida, the law will take notice. That is why he chose that state as the battlefield. At the end of the day, Omoyele's timing is not just about Wike. It is about creating a wave that will shake the political class. It is about proving that the fight against corruption can be taken outside Nigeria's broken system. It is about making politicians look over their shoulders whenever they try to hide stolen wealth abroad. And it is about showing Nigerians that someone is still bold enough to take on the powerful, even if the risk is high. So why did Omoyele strike now? Because the people are angry, because the timing hits Wike at a sensitive political moment, because international attention is sharper now than ever before, and because Florida provides the perfect legal ground for such a battle. In short, this is not random. This is strategy. And it may just be the start of something much bigger. For years, Peter Obi has been one of the few voices in Nigerian politics consistently warning about corruption and lifestyle excesses. He has always said it openly: no Nigerian politician should be living like a billionaire when the only known source of income they have is politics. He reminded the nation, time and time again, that politics is not a business. It is service. And anyone who turns service into a private empire must be doing so through corruption. Those words sounded too blunt for some people. Critics laughed. Opponents dismissed him as a man trying to act holier than thou. Others said he was only using that message as a campaign tool to paint himself as different from the political establishment. But today, with Omoyele's petition against Wike making international headlines, Obi's words are coming back in full force. What he said in the past is now staring Nigerians in the face, and it is becoming very hard to deny. The details in Omoyele's petition are not small. We are talking about properties worth millions of dollars in Florida, allegedly tied to a sitting Nigerian minister. These are not modest homes or humble investments. They are high-end real estate, the kind of properties you see in places reserved for the super wealthy. And here lies Obi's point: how does someone who has spent their entire life in politics, with no visible business empire, afford such properties? The numbers do not add up. This is why people say Obi has been vindicated. He told Nigerians that the biggest problem in this country is not just bad leadership but the deep culture of politicians enriching themselves with public funds. He said you can spot corruption by simply looking at the lifestyle of those in power. A man earning a government salary cannot logically own mansions abroad, fly private jets, or throw billions around like confetti unless that money is stolen from the people. With Omoyele now exposing Wike to international investigators, Obi's warnings no longer sound like theory. They sound like prophecy. This is not just vindication in words. It is vindication in action. Let us look at the bigger picture. For years, Nigerian politicians have used foreign countries as their hiding places. While hospitals at home lack drugs, while schools struggle with leaking roofs, while workers go unpaid, billions are being moved abroad to buy luxury homes. Obi has been saying this is why Nigeria remains poor despite its rich resources. The wealth is not gone. It is simply hidden in London, Dubai, Florida, and other parts of the world. Omoyele's petition is like pulling the curtain back so that Nigerians can see the truth clearly. The timing of this vindication is also important. Nigeria is in a state of economic crisis. Inflation is high, food is expensive, fuel is costly, and the naira is weak. Ordinary citizens are suffering, but they are also paying close attention. When they hear that a minister allegedly has properties abroad worth billions, it connects directly with their pain. They see how public funds are leaving the country while they struggle with basic needs. This is exactly the anger Obi has been speaking to for years. He told Nigerians that leaders cannot claim to love the people while secretly living like kings abroad. Now imagine the political impact. Obi has always positioned himself as the man who lives simply, who does not waste public funds, who does not boast of secret mansions in foreign lands. People used to argue about whether this was genuine or just branding. But compared to what Omoyele has now revealed, Obi's lifestyle is beginning to stand out even more. The difference is clear. While some politicians are being accused of buying Florida estates, Obi is remembered for flying economy class during his time as governor and for refusing to live extravagantly. This petition also shows the international side of Obi's message. He has said repeatedly that corruption does not just destroy Nigeria internally, it also damages how the world sees us. Foreign investors do not take Nigeria seriously when they see its leaders hiding wealth abroad. And now, with the Florida Attorney General being asked to act on this petition, the global community is again reminded that Nigerian politicians see foreign lands as banks for their stolen money. Obi warned about this embarrassment. Omoyele's petition proves he was right. But there is something even deeper. Obi's vindication here is not just about being correct. It is about credibility. In politics, credibility is everything. Once people start to see that your words match reality, they begin to trust you more. Right now, Nigerians are watching the contrast: on one side, a politician being accused of unexplained wealth; on the other side, a politician who warned that this was happening and called for a new kind of leadership. That contrast may shape the future of Nigerian politics. It also sends a message to young people. Many young Nigerians supported Obi because they believed he was different from the usual political elite. They wanted proof that his words were not just talk. Now they're getting that proof indirectly. Omoyele's bold petition is helping to strengthen Obi's argument that Nigeria cannot continue under leaders who treat public money as personal property. And what happens if Florida authorities act on this petition? If those properties are investigated, seized, or linked officially to corruption, Obi's vindication will become even louder. It will no longer just be about Nigerian activists shouting at home. It will be about international law confirming what Obi has always said, that corruption is not hidden, it is obvious, and it must be punished. The ripple effect could be massive. Other politicians who have been hiding wealth abroad will start to worry. Nigerians will demand more transparency. And the political atmosphere ahead of 2027 will tilt towards those who can show clean hands. In that environment, Obi's voice will grow stronger because his record and his warnings will stand taller than excuses. At the end of the day, this is more than just a clash between Omoyele and Wike. It is a battle that has opened the door for Obi's long-standing message to shine. He does not even need to say, "I told you so." The evidence speaks for him. Nigerians are seeing it for themselves. They are connecting his words with today's reality. And once the people connect the dots, change becomes possible. That is the true vindication of Peter Obi.